I'm Jolene Wynn, and this is the Porn Addict's Wife podcast, episode number 96, Healing with Ease. Your life does not have to revolve around your husband's pornography addiction. You are not defined by his choices or by what he sees on a screen. You are not just the porn addict's wife. You are so much more. In this podcast, I'm going to teach you how to go from handling it to healed. Because I've been where you are, and you don't have to stay there. My name is Jolene Wynn. I'm a member of the LDS Faith, a certified life coach, and a wife of a former porn addict. And this is a podcast for the porn addict's wife. All right, ladies, I have two very important things that I need you guys to keep in mind. Are you ready? Number one, Rob and I are starting our very first men's group on April 14th. We are so excited about this. We are going to take 8 men through, and it will be 4 months long. And we're so excited. This is not an accountability group. This is a deep dive program. We are creating an online course and combining that with coaching to help men who want to overcome their pornography addiction once and for all. This is the hard work. This is going deep and figuring out the root of the problem, digging it up, and removing it once and for all. This is the exact same process that Rob used. This is the exact same process that I use with my clients to do the deep work and finally conquer this thing. So if the gentleman in your life is ready to finally put this behind him, I want to encourage you to sign up ASAP. Okay, there are only 8 spots. One of them is already taken, and this is going to fill up. Simply head to my website, jolenewynn.com, and sign up for a free consultation call. Your husband will get on a call with either Rob or myself, and that is how we're going to go ahead and sign you up. So if your husband is ready to do the deep work and overcome this thing, let's go. I'm so excited about this. The other thing that I want you guys to keep in mind is that if you have been thinking about joining my coaching program, there has never been a better time. The introductory price that has been offered since January for my lifetime group is going up on April 1st. So if you want to get in, now is the very best time before prices go up. I've been so excited about the women who have already joined this year, and I cannot wait to see who else comes along. So if you are ready to finally put this behind you and do the deep work yourself, let's go. Come join me. Head to my website, jolenewynn.com. You can sign up right away, or you can sign up for a free consultation call with me. You and I will get on the phone. We'll chat all about it, and we'll see if it's the right fit for you. If you guys are ready to put this behind you, I cannot wait to teach you everything, all of the how of finally letting this go and moving forward. So head to my website, jolenewynn.com, and I'll see you soon. Hello, my ladies. How are you guys doing? I have had the best week. I have a couple of friends here visiting. So in October, I had a friend that I invited and flew her out here, and she's a photographer, and she's also a good friend of mine. And she flew out and took some photos for me. And I was so persuasive about where I live and how amazing it would be if she lived by us that they're moving out here. I'm so excited. So she and her husband have been out here and staying with us for the last couple of days and doing job interviews and house hunting and just hanging out, and it has been so fun. And they're moving here, and I'm so excited. So if anybody needs a good place to come, North Carolina is the place to be. And we have just had so much fun with them here. And I'm also excited because this week, Rob and I are going away on a trip, just the two of us. Ladies, have you guys ever done this? Do you guys do this? We did it. When was the last time we did this? I'm pretty sure it was probably 3 years ago. We went on a cruise, and for our 10-year wedding anniversary, and it was awesome. And it was the first time that we had really taken a trip, just the two of us. And we said we were going to do it every year, and we haven't. And we're doing it this year, and we're just going away for 2 days, and I'm very excited. So this weekend, Rob and I are going away, just the two of us. And I kind of forget what that's like. Ladies, if you haven't done that with your spouse, go do it. I know there may be some of you that don't want to go do that with your spouse right now. Totally fine. But if you get the opportunity, it is such a fun thing to do, to be with one another outside of your children. Even if you don't have kids, getting out of your normal routine, getting out of the place where you have to, do dishes and laundry and things like that. It's just really refreshing to have a space where you have fewer responsibilities, where you can just be the two of you. And I would encourage you to also put your phones down when that happens. I think cruises are one of the best things that you can do because you have such limited internet. Well, at least if you don't pay for internet, then you have very limited internet, which is so great because then you just spend way less time on your phone and way more time together, right? I love it. Anyway, we're not going on a cruise, but we are going away just for a couple of days. And I'm very excited. I'm also very excited to take a nap. I think that's going to be probably my favorite part. Ladies, I am so excited to talk to y'all about today's topic. This is a topic that was inspired by my own coaching call. The business coach that I have, I'm part of her coaching group. It is amazing. I've been coaching with her for over a year. You guys have heard me talk about her. And we were talking in that group about what creates ease in business, right? So her approach to business is all about how can we make this fun and without hustling. For any of you guys who have owned a business or tried or opened your own business or run your own business or self-employed or whatever it is, there's a lot of potential to kind of hustle your way through it. And this can even be if you don't have your own business, but just with life, right? You get stuck in the busyness of it, thinking that the actions are what is going to create the result that you want. And it can get very easy to get stuck in kind of that mindset and that mind frame. And I think we do this a lot with our own healing. Ladies, that kind of hustle mindset is the same mindset that you get in when your husband's addicted to porn and you want to do all the things hoping that it will create a different result in your life, meaning he will stop watching porn, right? For example, it's I need to lose weight. I need to always say yes if he wants sex. I need to always make sure the house is clean and the kids are under control when he walks in the door. I need to not go on trips. I mean, we need to not, I need to be very aware of whether or not we go on a family vacation to a beach, right? And there's other people in swimsuits, right? It's that kind of energy where your brain is just constantly buzzing, that kind of hustle, feeling like you're spinning on a hamster wheel and getting nowhere, right? That is the kind of mindset that I want to avoid when I'm in life in general and with healing and with running my business. And so my coach and I, we were on this group call talking about how to create your business, how to get the result that you want, but to do it without all of that mind hustle, all of that anxiety, all of that mental stress. And as we were talking, I realized how well it correlates to what we go through. And I wanted to bring these options to all of y'all and offer them to you so that hopefully you can see the benefits of how you can heal without all of that mental hustle, how you can heal with ease. Okay, I'm super excited. So these are some of the things that we talked about and I want to offer them to you today. Number one, the thing that creates ease in healing is certainty. Okay, now what we meant by that when we were talking about this is that it's kind of the opposite of second guessing. One of the things that we do, especially with healing, right, is we say, okay, well, I think I want to do this. I think I want to go meet with this therapist or join this program, but maybe that's not the right one. What if it's not the right time? Maybe that's not the best one. Maybe I should keep doing research. Maybe I should look something else up. Maybe a 12-step group would be better. Maybe a different 12-step group would be better. I don't really love the one at my church. Maybe there's a different church that has a better one. It's kind of this second guessing. Do you guys see how it's just this constant anxiety, mental buzz in your brain? Having certainty just about making a decision and then going forward, right? It's just saying, you know what, I'm going to make this decision and I'm not going to second guess it. That's the kind of certainty. It's the certainty in yourself to make a decision and to move forward without constantly second guessing. Now, the key to doing this is allowing yourself to feel uncomfortable, because what happens when you make a decision is that then your brain says, well, maybe this other one would be better. And you start to second guess. And when you second guess, you feel uncomfortable. You feel a little unsettled, right? And so this is really the key to being certain and moving forward with ease is allowing yourself to feel uncomfortable without second guessing, without changing your mind, without constantly trying to change your actions in order to change the result. Does that make sense? You have to accept, you know what? I'm making this decision and it's feeling a little uncomfortable, and that's okay. I'm just going to feel it and make this decision anyway. Right? So good. The second thing that helps create ease with healing, and we talked about this in terms of business, was time boundaries. So fascinating. So when we were talking about this with business, we were talking about how creating time boundaries, so that you're not constantly working on your own business, so that your mind has a time to relax and to take a break. And that might look like saying, all right, I take Wednesdays off, or I don't work nights, or whatever it is. You have to schedule yourself a holiday. In healing, ladies, what I want to offer is time boundaries looks a lot more like releasing time boundaries. Now, let me tell you what that means. A lot of us put a lot of stress and a lot of mental anxiety on our healing journey because we think we're going too slow, because we think this should be faster, because we think I should already be past this, because it's already been a decade and I should be over it. Do you guys see how we do this? We take time and we place limits on our healing as if time has anything to do with it. And it doesn't. Ladies, if you want to learn how to heal with ease, you have to learn how to let go of timelines. You have to let go of this idea that you should be farther along. You have to let go of this notion that time is what creates your healing. It does not. Time is irrelevant. Your past is irrelevant. If you want to move forward, you start today. It's internal. It has nothing to do with how long it's been or how far you have to go. Okay? If you want to learn how to move forward with ease, you have to release those mental stressors of time that you've placed in your brain. That is how you start to let go of that anxiety about how long this journey is taking or how long you have left. Do you guys see what I'm saying? Another thing I want to offer, the third thing that we talked about, is constraint. I love this one. Okay. So in business, we were talking about how not to get distracted by shiny objects. When you're running your own business, it's very tempting to say, okay, well, I should be on all of these avenues because they can all help my business. I should be on YouTube and on Instagram and Twitter and Snapchat, and I should be on LinkedIn, and I should be sending daily emails, and I should start a podcast, and I should blah, 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 right? And I should be in 97 different coaching groups and business programs, and your brain wants to go to the next thing. And in healing, we do this the same, right? Kind of as I was saying before about being certain is picking one and going for it. The same thing applies here. Constraining yourself to one avenue can be super beneficial because otherwise what happens is our brain gets very overwhelmed and so it doesn't even want to begin. Right? Have you guys noticed this? Is when you have a healing and you're like, okay, well, I could talk to a therapist, but there's also this couples counselor and he should be seeing a sex therapist, or maybe it's better if I do Jolene's coaching program, or maybe if it's better if I just listen to podcasts, or maybe I should go to that ARP meeting, right? Your brain wants to try all the things. It's like, well, let's do all of it. Let's do 97 things at once because this is a big problem. Let's come at it from every angle. Let's put the filters on his phone. Let's take away his phone. Let's kick him out of the room. Let's monitor everything that he does, all of the things. And what I want to offer is that all that does is make you feel very mentally exhausted and drained and overwhelmed, which then produces actually less action and fewer results than if you constrain your brain. What I want to offer is you pick one. Pick one. Pick one way today that you're going to start moving forward. Maybe that's taking notes every time you listen to this podcast. Maybe that's joining my coaching program. Maybe that looks like having him sleep on the couch. You choose, ladies. Pick one way that you're going to start moving forward and you give yourself I'm only going to do that one thing. That's what I'm going to do. I know there's 97 options. I'm just going to pick one, and that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to constrain my brain to that one thing. And what I want to also offer is that you do this as well in the areas of your life that you're wanting to improve. Okay? What I mean is so many of us want to change everything all at once. It's affecting our communication, our trust, our sex life, our the way I parent, it's coming out in this and this and this and this. And what I want to offer again is that when your brain says, here's all the ways that my husband's pornography addiction is ruining my life, then all your brain does is loop in that thought. And it just finds evidence and it just gets stuck there, which is very mentally draining and produces nothing positive in your relationship, which then makes your relationship suffer. Right? Which just provides more evidence that your husband's pornography addiction is ruining your life. Okay. So what I want to offer is you pick one area to focus on. Okay. One that you can control. Okay. This is not, I want him to change his behavior. This is, you know what? I want to communicate, have better communication. Our communication is struggling. I'm going to constrain myself to this area for now. For now, I'm going to work on communicating, and I'm going to work on how I communicate. I'm going to work on how I show up in our conversations, the feelings I'm having, the thoughts I'm having, and that's what I'm going to work on. And I'm going to let all the other stuff go, and I'm going to work on this. Constrain your brain to one area of focus, and you will be amazed at how much more efficient and how much more you can change, because your brain can actually focus on something, change the behavior, change the way you approach it, and produce a result. And that's when you start to get motivated to change the next thing. But when you have everything that needs to be overhauled, your brain will get overwhelmed and just stop because it thinks it doesn't even want to begin. So constrain. Here's another thing too, is it's so tempting, ladies, when our husband's addicted to porn and we have so many problems, is to look at what's not working. Right? And that's why we feel so overwhelmed. It's like, look at all the areas where my life is a mess. Look at all the areas where this is just messed up, where we can't get past this, all the areas that are affected negatively. What I want to offer, that one of the things that can be super helpful, is to look at what is working in your relationship specifically. Right? Your brain already knows all the areas that you want to improve, all the ways where things have gone wrong. What I want you to do is see if you can get your brain to think, what's already working? And how can I do it more? Okay. Let's say we already are communicating great about the kids. Great. Let's keep that up. Okay. No, just recognize that focusing only on things that are negative are not going to work out for you. You also want to allow your brain to see what is working and keep doing that. The next step, this is number 4. I don't know if I've been counting, but the next thing that we talked about in my group was know the next right step. And this is so crucial, ladies. This kind of goes hand in hand with a couple of other things I was already saying, but there are so many times where we think we have to know the end from the beginning, right? We want to know, all right, well, if I join this coaching program, I want to know for sure how it's going to end 6 months from now. And I want to guarantee that if my husband goes and sees this therapist, that he's going to stop watching porn and that our life is going to be amazing. I want to know which step is the right step. And I want to know what comes after that. All right, so if I join this and then he joins that, and then maybe we do that for 6 months, or what if we do this instead? Our brain wants to know the end from the beginning, and that's not how it works. Okay, you can't plan everything. You can't plan the next 50 steps. What I want you to do is just take the next step. Make a decision, choose the next step, and believe that it's the right one for you. That's all you have to do. So many times we look for the quote unquote right next step. And what I want to offer is that there's not a right one. There's just you choosing one and believing that it's right. Do you guys see the difference, and do you see how powerful that is? If your brain believes that there is a next right step out there and you have to go find it, then it's going to search forever, hoping that one of them you just know it's the right one for you. And a lot of times that will just leave you to searching for a really long time, which just means you stay where you are rather than moving forward. What I want you to do is you say, you know what, I'm going to make this decision and I'm going to believe that it's the right one because it's the one that I made. Not because it produces the result that I want, because it's the decision that I made. So therefore, it's the right one. Do you guys see what I'm saying? I want you to make that next right step. Believe that it's the right one for you. And then, do you guys know what you can do? You can change your mind. Did you guys know this? I think some of you guys forget. Some of you guys forget that you can change your mind. We get so caught up because we think that there's a right pattern that has to be followed in order to produce the result that we want. It's not true, okay? You just take the next step. You believe that it's the right one. You go all in on it. And then guess what? You can pivot, ladies. Try it out. See if it goes. See what happens. If it produces what you want, you stick with it. If it's not, then you pivot. But you have to take that next step believing that it's the right one for you. Otherwise, you'll never go anywhere. Another thing that we talked about was having a support system. I loved that they brought this up. This is one of the things that I have found so amazing in coaching, and this is why I operate my coaching program the way that I do in a group, because it is so much more powerful. You get so much farther. It's so much easier, ladies, which is what we're talking about, to move forward and to heal when you have a support system, when you have people rooting for you, helping you, guiding you, holding your hand, crying with you, hugging you, teaching you how to do it so you don't have to do it by yourself. So that when you have a bad day and your husband relapses, you have a coach to message to help you work through it. And you have a whole bunch of ladies that can also understand exactly what you're going through so that you can lean on them when you feel like you can't stand up by yourself. That's what a support system does. That's what I have. That's why I'm so passionate about having this group setting, because it is so powerful. And every single week that we have a coaching call, we have it multiple times a week. And every time I get on a call, without fail, someone says, this was exactly what I needed to hear. I needed to hear you coach her. I needed to hear her story because I'm going through the same thing. It's so powerful, ladies. Having that support system, feeling like you're not by yourself, is what helps make healing feel so much easier. The other thing that I wanted to bring up just real quick is that doing this with ease, ladies, does not mean that it's easy. I'm not suggesting that if you check box all of these, that all of a sudden it will be very, very easy. As I say, the process that I teach to work through is very simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. And that's what healing can be. Healing can be simple and done with ease. These are the ways you can make it make it possible with ease. Again, doesn't mean it's not going to be hard. It doesn't mean there's not going to be bad days. Doesn't mean it's not going to be difficult. Doesn't mean you're not going to feel emotion. In fact, do you guys want to know what the key is to all of this? Is to allowing emotions. Just as I was saying before, one of the hardest things that my ladies learn how to do, and like I was saying, is the hardest thing is allowing that uncertainty, right? Allowing the discomfort. The things that you have been avoiding that are keeping you stuck, we have to learn how to feel. And all of those are emotions. Feeling uncomfortable, feeling overwhelmed. A lot of times we don't do things because we feel feelings and we don't want to feel those. So we do the opposite, right? Or we give in. I don't want to do this because that feels overwhelming. Okay, well, you can just feel overwhelmed and do it anyway. A lot of moving forward is allowing emotions. It's really the key. The key to moving forward, the key to healing is allowing emotions, learning how to feel them, learning how to process them. Because what happens is we want to take action to avoid emotion. Always. Again, this is what I did for a long time in my marriage, was I wanted to take action to avoid feeling uncomfortable, to avoid feeling out of control. I wanted to feel like I had some sort of control over what was happening in my life, and I didn't. And rather than just allow myself to acknowledge that I felt out of control and to feel it, what I did was try to control more things. Right? When he came home, I tried to make sure that the house was clean and the kids were in order and that I had made dinner, and I tried to lose weight and to change my hair and to always be on, all in an attempt to take action so that I didn't have to feel my feelings. Did you guys know this doesn't work? It doesn't. Spoiler alert. You cannot act your way out of your feelings. You can't think your way out of your feelings, and you can't act your way out of your feelings. You can never do enough things to avoid yourself. It's not possible. You have to be willing to feel your feelings. You'll want to take action to avoid your emotions, but you need to start allowing your emotions, or else you're going to obsess. You're going to double check. You're going to mentally revolve your brain around his addiction, creating this anxiety that then creates this tension and this feeling of being stuck. and spinning out on a hamster wheel and going nowhere. This is when you get burned out, you get emotionally drained, you get overwhelmed and exhausted, and you have nothing to show for it. Right? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? That is not healing with ease. That is trying to force healing by doing the things you think are going to get you there. But the key to moving forward, the key to healing with ease is allowing your emotion. Ladies, you can do this. It's totally possible. I've done this. I help my clients do it every single day. You can heal. You can get past this. It's totally possible. You can put it behind you and move forward once and for all. You don't have to have a life where you're worried about your husband's relapses, where you second guess where you should go on vacation, where you tense up every time you sit next to each other and you watch a show and there's, somebody's attractive walks on the screen, where you don't have to wonder what your husband's thinking when a waitress gets assigned to a table that's really pretty. Or you get worried when your husband says, hey, I'm going to go to the gym, and your heart starts to race because you think, I hope he doesn't get triggered while he's there. All of that doesn't have to be your life. That all goes away. It can go away. You just have to be willing to do the work to do it. I love you, ladies. If you want help, come join me. I'll teach you how to do it. I'll talk to you ladies next week. Take care. All right, ladies, if you are loving what you are learning on the podcast, I want to invite you to come join my coaching program. This is where we take it to the next level and we actually start applying and learning the how of moving forward. This podcast has taught you the what, and the coaching program is where you're going to learn the how. This is where you learn how to actually start moving forward, process all of that pain that you feel, and let it go once and for all. If you are ready to finally move forward and stop living a life that revolves around your husband's pornography addiction, then I want to invite you to come join me today. Just head to my website, joleneWayne.com, and sign up today. I can't wait to see you there.